There are 6 things the Lord hates, 7 that are detestable to him. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil, and a false witness who pours out lies. I just felt like saying that. This is a crossword puzzle.
But that's a passage. From what exactly? Well, obviously, the Holy Bible, a work of literature that needs no introduction. What about the passage I just read, about the 6 things that the Lord hates the most, 7 that are detestable?
And don't even think about commenting that number, by the way, because that would be the 9th sin. The 8th is taking this long to get, a lav mic, but better late than never.
Wait. But before that tangent I went on, the passage I read eventually led us to the 7 deadly sins. We all know them and we're all guilty of them. Don't you lie to me. You've committed these. These get quoted a lot, and even get used as some symbolic thing when describing characters from a movie or show, or even describing a company.
But none of them do it quite like how I'm about to do it, as we're gonna go down the list of sins, starting of course with the first sin, pride. FC, fighting championships for the PS2.
Now, one thing I was not expecting from this game is an intro that has a song that gives me Shadow of the Colossus vibes. But I mean, hey, I'm not gonna complain. In case you guys don't know, Pride Fighting Championships, or really just Pride, was a Japanese MMA promotion with fighters trained in a variety of martial arts. Basically, it took the premise of UFC and the spectacle of professional wrestling and threw them together in Japan. It's not around anymore and hasn't been since 2007, but it seemed like it was popular back in the day. Obviously popular enough to get its own video game.
But I know nothing else about Pride Fighting Championships, so this should be fun.
So I don't really know anyone here. I may have heard of some of these names, but I'm going to select Goes from Brazil just to see how this goes. All right, I've made the entire bracket, so let's go play. All right, so I'm up against Don Fry. Let's see how this...
I also made the joke again without even realizing.
So we got entrances. Yippee. Yup. The entrance... Uh-huh. Hey, Alan, can you maybe, like, pick up the pace?
Why do we need to pick up the pace, DPX?
No, Alan, come on, not you.
Not to mention, Don Fry has a shirt that really looks like it says, Pain Incel. Make of that what you will.
Come on, let's do this. Shit. Wait, what? Well, I won. I made my opponent tap. I don't know what I did to trigger that to happen, but I did it, and I won because of it.
So the problem here is that there is a whole ass bracket where I'm not playing, so we'll just skip all of it. And now, I'm against Dan Henderson.
Wow, this is pretty easy. Now that was some greed, which also happens to be the next sin. Greed. Fall.
Could you stand a little taller, just a tad?
Like this?
Yes.
But he's sitting.
Well, this was actually a segue to customize my character, and I must say, I'm a little disappointed by the character creator. It is very basic. So this is Greedfall. Or at least the very beginning of it. As you can see, it's set in like a fantasy world inspired by like 17th, 18th century Europe. Right now, all I'm doing is tutorial training stuff. I do this training session with this guy named Kurt, where I learn how to hit him with my sword and use a firearm, which is neat and all, but it does kind of go on for a while. And after that, I'm gonna be honest with you, nothing really happens. I don't have much to say about this game. To be fair, I only played the beginning, but I do need to keep things going here.
But believe it or not though, Greedfall received kind of 2 sequels. but also not really. You see, Greedfall 2 came out in 2024 as an early access game, but just recently it actually fully released as Greedfall: The Dying World, which is going over really well. But that was quite short. You know, I didn't really have much to say about it. So as we go down the list of sins, I lust for more. A lust from beyond.
Yup. This is the title screen. Looks rather cheap, to be honest, but to be fair, the reviews on Steam are actually very positive. It's also quite a big game file size-wise, and seems like a legitimate game. I just love how before you start the game, it asks if you want to censor the nudity or not, but then shows you a disclaimer basically saying,
look, we want you to goon to this game. We really do, but it's not a gooner game.
Beyond the limits of perception, the streams of essence vibrate. They reveal the land of eternal delight to the seeing ones. We will obviously follow its radiance until our last breath.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of surprised the game didn't just cut me off. I feel like a lot of games I read text and then it's just like, nope, you don't get to finish it, but good job, Lust from Beyond. You did a great thing.
So we start this game immediately with this pixelated alien vagina or whatever the fuck is happening. I don't even know.
I also don't want to show this part because it is kind of fucked up, even if it is, you know, censored. I chose the censored option, but it's just gross. What type of fucked up rabbit hole did this video lead me down?
I'm more interested in the fact that my character is very tall. Like, wow, I am towering over everything. Look at that. So I go through this portal and end up in a mansion. Cool. Chapter 1. Queen of Ecstasy.
What's that supposed to mean?
So right now I'm going around looking at pictures and statues of pixelated genitals and picking up objects like cuffs.
I'm getting a little uncomfortable.
Eventually though, I meet with this guy whose name is Theodore. He just has a normal ass name. No cool nickname or anything like that. Nothing like Grandmaster or something in that vein. No title, no nothing. It's just the name Theodore. And I also must say that the dialogue and conversations sound very natural.
Every second they're outside of their natural habitat.
Then we haven't a moment to waste, Theodore. We must perform the ritual tonight. Prepare the Vorn. I'll call the faithful to meet at the ritual hall.
So this game came out in 2021. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt.
I'll give it this though. Lust from Beyond looks really good, even if it is more just crisp than anything actually looking legitimately good, if that makes sense. But this looks a lot better than Greedfall, which I just played, and I didn't have much to say about it, and kind of like this one. I don't really have much to say about this one. I'm gathering people for a ritual. That's basically all I'm doing. All my objectives really boil down to is find this person for the ritual, which I then proceed to find said person for the ritual, while walking through this mansion where the atmosphere is done surprisingly well. So I am now finally doing the ritual. I have waited the whole game up to this point to do this.
That's it? That's the whole thing? I waited this long for the ritual and that's it? You know what this game made me feel? Envy. Envy for those who can play this game with both of their hands. Envy for those who are dead, because I wish to be one of them right now. That got dark. Look, I just wanted to do like a segue to a game called Envy the Dead. I didn't mean for it to get all fucked up like this. I'm sorry.
Well, we found a game, alright. This immediately looks very cheap, but hey, don't judge a book by its cover.
Even though that refers to judging something before you've experienced it, and technically I've already started experiencing it, but I'm the king of the rules, so it's fine.
So we start with a group of guys in this very nice looking world that is definitely not a bunch of Unity assets, I swear. But hey, at least that's better than AI slop. I click on each of these guys and it gives me information about them, including an option to rename them. So obviously I renamed them to stuff like Skong and Zoop, Angus Beef, and Gug. So I've officially renamed everybody. Not that it really did anything, but I also gave everyone stats or some shit, but I also don't think that did anything. So I crafted weapons, which makes an amazing sound. But that also didn't fucking do anything.
I'm starting to think Envy the Dead is a game where you don't actually do anything.
There's one thing I haven't tried yet. Scouting. Where I send one of my guys to fight zombies or some shit.
Alright, I stand corrected. Let's go play Envy the Dead.
So this is one of those games where you don't actually do anything. You just click stuff and the game just decides what happens from there. Fucking brilliant. Oh, Gug is dead, I guess?
Well, I didn't get to see it, so I don't believe you.
Alright, so let's send in Zoop and see what happens. You scouted everything around.
Did I? I actually scouted everything around like some sort of glutton? Like Gluttony, the next sin? Which also happens to be the name of an upcoming indie roguelike that is currently in early access? Gluttony?
So the game actually starts with a pretty sick intro, I will give it that. And I also love the art direction and overall vibe of this game. I mean, there's a bunch of overall shite on Steam, so it's easy to lose sight of a game like this, which seems like a genuine passion project. This actually looks really good, and it actually is really good.
But
I don't like roguelikes. I love the concept, but I seldom have fun with them. I don't know, maybe it's a skill issue, but that's just me. And Gluttony is a roguelike, and one that probably still needs some fine-tuning. It's still in early access, but I found the controls a little wonky. As to my understanding, the game almost works a bit like Vampire Survivors, where you don't actually do anything to attack. Your character will just do that, but it results in Gluttony feeling like you don't have as much control over your character, even as opposed to a game like Vampire Survivors. But hey, I'm just one Joe Schmo giving his opinion on the internet. I actually suggest you check this game out and make your own opinion, as there's a free demo available for it right now.
so yeah, Gluttony. Not really my thing, but I don't quite feel the wrath for this one. Asura's Wrath. Or Asura's Wrath. Fuck you. I mean, what should I be expecting here? Like, it's only published by Capcom and developed by CyberConnect 2, who develops a lot of, like, really beloved anime games. Come on. It can't be that good.
Okay, this game is fucking awesome. I mean, I'm only playing the prologue, but it's already epic. Everything down to the visuals still looking really fucking good, despite it being a 14-year-old game. The overall presentation, the music, the QuickTime events, the sounds, and little bits of gameplay I've been experiencing. Asura's Wrath is an absolute banger. I don't even watch much anime, but this game feels like I'm playing an anime, and I mean that in the best way possible. And it seems like that was the general reception. Eventually I got past the prologue and started episode 2, which gives us more story and combat, and I will say, although the combat is fun, it is a little shallow, but I think Asura's Wrath is praised for its spectacle more than having deep combat. I didn't play beyond episode 2, but I actually want to. It doesn't always happen when I play a game on this series, and I immediately want to play more when I'm done getting footage of it, but I think I kind of need to play more of Asura's Wrath. Over the years, the game has become like a cult favorite, citing many of the things I mentioned as major positives for the game, and was actually really popular when it came out. Let's get a remake or remaster, or hell, even a sequel. You know, all that is to say, wasn't without its controversy, as this was Capcom during their greedy era, so they locked the game's actual ending behind a paywall. No, that is not a joke.
Now, I consider that wrath and greed, and maybe even a little bit of sloth, because it shows laziness for not even including the true ending in the initial release, which also happens to be the 7th sin, Sloth Quest. I already don't like this.
Alright, this is Sloth Quest. So you know what we gotta do. Quest on. So we start with this random ass sloth hanging out on a tree, reading a book that has an ad for SASA, saying, astronauts wanted and apply now.
SASA? It's like NASA for sloths? You wouldn't be able to get anything done. You'd be like the people in the fucking like control room who's controlling everything are sloths. They're gonna cause a fucking death to happen, and the apocalypse is gonna happen. What was this joke?
Uh-oh, watch out, Mr. Sloth. It's a monkey, and he also wants to become an astronaut, and he's got a head start on you. They already sent a monkey out to space, so he might have an easier time joining SASA.
Wait, so I thought the first S in SASA stood for sloth. It doesn't? The fuck is SASA then? Are you just trying not to get sued? Is that all? I think that's all. Oh, you don't actually want to be an astronaut. You want to be some Buzz Lightyear, Captain Falcon looking ass if he actually used his gun. I don't know if you knew that, but he has a gun. Fucking looking Space Ranger or some shit. You disgust me. Oh, straight into it then? We don't need to establish anything else? The fuck am I on about? This is Sloth Quest.
So I'm here, playing Sloth Quest. I absolutely understand what is happening. I don't even know what's happening. What am I doing? What the fuck is this? I get it. I understand I'm a sloth and therefore really slow. But what am I supposed to be doing? It says to press these buttons, so I press them, and the sloth moves his arms. Sometimes, other times he doesn't even fucking do that, but then nothing else happens.
Game? What game? All I see is the 7 deadly sins.
That's right, not in scripture, but actually playing. The sins of man, laid bare, not as actions, but as titles. Pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, sloth. 7 names, 7 games, 7 weights, 7 things we were never meant to carry, yet we installed them anyways. And it made me think, he hung upon a cross and died for our sins. Not some of them, all of them, even these. And yet here we are, still buying them, still downloading them, still keeping them in our libraries. Like nothing was ever forgiven at all. And maybe that's the strangest part. The sins didn't stay in the titles, they spread. Pride in giants like EA or Activision who think they're untouchable. Greed in every battle pass, every extra charge. Just ask Epic or Activision. Envy, chasing trends, copying success even at the top with Sony and Microsoft and EA and Activision. Gluttony, endless content, endless consumption. Wrath in the outrage, the backlash, the constant fire from companies like EA and Activision. Or sloth in the same ideas repeated until they mean nothing. And lust, which I know I went out of order, but lust, not for pleasure, for attention, for time, for you. And so the sins remain, not in games, but in those who make them. And so it was never just the games. The sins were named, cataloged, sold to us, but they didn't stay there. Pride FC exists so EA and Activision can sin. Greedfall exists so EA and Activision can sin. Lust from Beyond exists so EA and
I just noticed this. All this really just talks about is EA and Activision, Blizzard, and Nintendo, and Sony, and Microsoft, and Warner Brothers, and Konami, and NetEase, and Embracer Group, and Tencent, and Take-Two Interactive, and Warner Brothers, and Krafton, and Game Mill. And so we kind of went off the rails a little bit, but April Fools? I don't know what else you want me to tell you. Oh, now you're not going to leave. Now, this is my house. I'm asking you nicely to leave. Still no? Fine. Staring contest. The loser has to leave. Fuck! No!